Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl champions, 29-13. I mean, it was a point all the way up until I think the fourth quarter. You know, it was a shutout for the Seattle Seahawks. The New England Patriots couldn't put any points on the board offensively. Defense did a pretty good job. They was handling their business, stopping the Seattle Seahawks in the red zone, making them kick field goals. Josh McDaniels couldn't scheme Drake Maye to glory. That's what ended up happening in this game. Josh McDaniels could not scheme Drake Maye to glory. Patriots needed Drake Maye to step up in this game in order for the Patriots to be successful. And the young Drake Maye couldn't. You know, if he ever gets this chance again, we will not know. But he has to step up. You know, the moment just seemed like it was too big for the young fella. And whatever else is going on with Drake Maye as a quarterback in his second year, the moment was just entirely too big. Even though the Seattle's defense is one hell of a defense, the dark side, let me tell you, they are a hell of a defense. Drake Maye was just pitiful in the Super Bowl. And the fourth quarter, we don't want to hear about those garbage yards, those yards that don't count, or your fake coming back and things like that. You know, Drake Maye just played too fast. He let the clock speed up in his head too fast, right? And that made him struggle. You know, Drake Maye probably struggled worse than he has all season in the most important game of the season.
Mm-hmm. Man, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to DeMarcus Lawrence, man. Beginning the season, before the season started, when he left the Cowboys, he said, "Man, I love Dallas. That's my home, but I know I can't win there." He ended up going to a new team this year and winning the Super Bowl. Man, he kind of like called it out at the beginning of the season. He went to go win the Super Bowl. He did it.
Do you know who smiling from ear to ear, cheesing? I mean, they was. Let me say, they was extremely happy watching the Super Bowl. They feel like they know much more than everyone else that's watching football and being an analyst and things like that. Who do y'all think I'm talking about that watched this game that is extremely happy? Anyone knows? In the chat, Drees, does anyone have a clue? There is someone that is happy and said, "I told you."
Who was that? Tom Brady?
Cam Newton.
Oh, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, the good brother Cam Newton. I know Cam Newton is somewhere rubbing his hands together like Birdman, smiling from ear to ear. He can't wait. He can't wait to call Drake Maye fool's gold, baby. His favorite term for Drake Maye, fool's gold. And let me tell you, I can't defend Drake Maye after a game like this. I can't defend him. You know, I come to people's defense when reality is the truth, you know, and man, the reality, I don't know if it was the truth or not tonight, but I know that Drake Maye, the moment was too big for him, man. You know what I mean? And Cam Newton, he's going to have a field day with Drake Maye's performance in the Super Bowl. It's going to be bad, Patriots Nation. It's going to be bad. So y'all sit back and just brace yourself and sit back, and it's gonna be a bumpy ride because Cam Newton, he couldn't wait for this day, and all he can say and continue to say is, "I told you, I told you," you know.
Yeah, but Patriots fans, they still got to be a lot to be proud about, be a lot to be happy about, because they made it to the Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody say about the road they take to get there. You still got to win those games. You still got to get there, man. They should be proud of the young Drake Maye, even though today wasn't how they wanted it to be. Was it the Drake Maye they seen all season with completing the ball down the field and everything? But man, first year, Mike Vrabel, first year with the Patriots as a head coach, man, it's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, man, win, lose, or draw, this year is a success for the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel as a first-year head coach. Regardless of what happened and transpired in this game, this season is a success. Of course, we are not happy with the conclusion of this game and not coming out victorious in this game. Yes, Mike Vrabel is not going to be happy with that. But at the end of the day, it's a successful season, and they can build and get better from this season, you know what I mean? And I think it's important so we can understand the type of coach and player Mike Vrabel was and the coach he is now, and how he started off this season, how he was able to get a broken down team and rebuild it and get everyone to believe in each other, get these players to fight for one another. Like it's a war going on, and I can't let my brother down. You know, it takes a special man to lead other men to be able to bring them to that to those capabilities in 1 year. You know what I mean? Not 2 years, not 3 years, in one season. So Drake, so Mike Vrabel, like I said, he's a great leader of men, and I want to show, and we want to take a look at the Patriots, little documentary before the season started that they put together, and I think it's very inspiring, and let's check it out.
Okay, and what my goal was, it was to build a program that you guys and the coaches and the staff wanted to be a part of, that they wanted to protect, and that you were proud of.
But basically, yeah, man, that was Mike Vrabel starting off this journey with the New England Patriots. And the end goal is to make it to the Super Bowl. First, you want to make it to the playoffs, be NFC champs, AFC champs. And they did that, man. They did that in 1 year. Of course, you came up short. It's going to hurt, But in this game, man, back to this game, right? No one was scoring. The Seattle Seahawks continued to kick field goals because the Patriots defense kept them out of the end zone, in the red zone, right? They played good red zone defense. And then finally, the Patriots defense gave up one touchdown too many. That one touchdown too many is what cost the Patriots the game. And then here comes Drake Maye. Too little, too late, trying to match the intensity of the Seahawks and try to get a touchdown, score a touchdown right back after the Seahawks scored. But it was too little, too late by then,
I feel like that like once the Patriots start moving the ball, like the Seahawks kind of like knew it was like we just waiting their time to run out. They wasn't playing as hard as defense as they was before, so it was easier for Drake Maye to move the ball down the field. They just want the game to be over with. They think about the after parties and all this other stuff that's about to come.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how the Patriots start moving the ball.
In a game like this, truthfully, it comes down to who will make his mistakes first, who will make the most mistakes, and who will make mistakes first, because it's a defensive battle, right? I'm playing it pretty safe on offense, and the other team is playing it pretty safe on offense. We're depending on our defense to win this game, as well as our physical nature, which is running the football, right? So like I said, it was 3-zip, then it was 6-zip. The Patriots wasn't really making any mistakes. Seahawks wasn't making any mistakes on defense. They was shutting the offense out for the New England Patriots. Whereas the New England Patriots, they were giving up little plays here and there. And then finally, Kenneth Walker was able to explode and bust the game open. And then the mistakes started piling on for the New England Patriots because Drake Maye couldn't perform. Remember, a good defense needs a good offense to perform, to keep them off the field and let them get their rest, the rest they need. Drake Maye and the offense couldn't provide none of that, as well as Josh McDaniels. Like I said, Josh McDaniels is really the corporate in this whole entity of the New England Patriots offense, right? And he is responsible for scheming quarterbacks that we may not think is elite or needs more support than other quarterbacks. So that's what we depend on Josh McDaniels to do for Drake Maye, but he couldn't figure it out against the Seahawks defense. The dark side is the real deal, man. The dark side is the real deal.
And this game kind of reminded me of an old school game too, because we didn't see those going for it on 4th and short. It was a lot of 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s where they kicked the field goal or punted it away. They was playing that field position in the game. Like, no, we don't give you that easy field position. You're gonna have to work for every yard you get. And that's how the game kind of started off too, as well. I don't know if you noticed that it was no 4th down attempts today.
Yeah,
that's the first game.
That's the difference in these type of coaches. They're very conservative coaches who want to try, especially in a game like today. You want the other team to make their mistakes first before you make your mistake. Or you want to force them into making mistakes while you're playing your game, and you're not getting out of your game. You want to get 3 yards here, 5 yards there, control the time of possession, and then get a touchdown, get the lead, and force the other team to get out of character and do things out of character. And that's the name of the game in a game like this. That's defensive minded, two great defenses going head to head. And yeah, but I got a confession, man. I got a confession to everyone out there, man. And I got to let everyone know, man, especially Patriots Nation, man, my patriotism has been rejuvenated with Mike Vrabel as the head coach and all this controversy surrounding Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Yes, I want to tell y'all, my patriotism, however you say it, has been restored. It's rejuvenated, and I feel good again, baby. I'm a Patriot and I'm an Eagle. You understand? We got to split it. We got to split it now. You know what I mean? But the good thing about it for me, right? Belichick being snubbed in the Hall of Fame and Brady not supporting his teammate made me get my patriotism rejuvenated, restored, make me feel good again because of all this controversy between Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Fame coach and Tom Brady acting like he doesn't want to support his team and his buddy Mike Vrabel. I had to step up and show my patriotism, baby. It's restored. I am back. I am back, and it feels good. It feels good. You know what I mean? But again, if this was Belichick headed to the Super Bowl, trying to win his seventh Super Bowl for the New England Patriots, you wouldn't have seen this side of me. You wouldn't have seen that I'm a Patriot. I support the Patriots and so on and so forth. But you got to see my patriotism, you got to see my patriotism.
And when the Tom Brady jersey go back up on the wall?
I don't know. He's on probation, man. We got Tom Brady on probation. We got him on statute probation as well as jersey on the wall probation. So we got to see how he's feeling, the vibe out there. But I will say one thing about Tom Brady and this whole situation surrounding New England Patriots with Drake Maye, Mr. Kraft. We can't even include Belichick right now because Belichick isn't there. You know what I mean? But I need Tom Brady along with Mr. Kraft and also Drake Maye if Drake Maye has any interest in this Tom Brady saga, this controversy, right? They all need to put their difference to the side and let Tom Brady give some type of mentorship to Drake Maye. Yes. You don't want your quarterback to make it all the way to the Super Bowl and then finally can't execute in the most important game of the year. The most important game of the games. You know what I mean? I think that's very important.
Don't he work with the Raiders? Why would he go help Drake Maye when he got to work with the Raiders? He got some work to do over there with those quarterbacks.
I get it. I understand, man. It's just different, man. Like I said, I feel like Tom Brady is a Patriot. He has to, give him some type of mentorship. I know it sounds weird and things like that, but I think they all need to figure this out, man. Maybe Mr. Kraft need to give Tom Brady 5% of the Patriots and switch,
switch from the Raiders back to the Patriots.
Yeah, man. But salute to the New England Patriots, man. And another thing with the Patriots that is a good thing, we're trying to find some things that are good besides this foolishness of a game that just went on, right? And I can't lie, I didn't think Stephon Diggs was going to work out. I would be a good fit with the New England Patriots, along with a young Drake Maye at quarterback. And I must say I was completely wrong. He is definitely a key factor on that team and one of the main leaders and that the energy that makes that engine go over there for the New England Patriots. So he was a good addition as well as a good receiver for Drake Maye, you know what I mean? So Diggs turned out to be one of the best free agent pickups for the New England Patriots, as well as him bringing Cardi B over there with Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft, man, he low key for a while. He loved this attention. He loves being around rappers and stars and things like that. Bill Belichick was the one that was holding him back. So now I hear that Cardi B is around, and now she's bringing much more revenue, much more attention. The value of the brand of the Patriots is going up. So I think, Mike, I think that's a cool thing, I think it's a cool thing. Same thing that Coach Prime was doing in college, But shout out to the Seattle Seahawks, man. Sam Darnold, man. The thing that was impressive in this game for the Seattle Seahawks was Sam Darnold he showed a huge amount of composure, especially in the first half, right? Because the amount of pressure New England Patriots was bringing while, being very close to sacking Sam Darnold on a lot of those plays was very impressive. He kept his composure. Sam Darnold was making the Patriots defensive line look like they wasn't as athletic as him. He looked like he was a more of an athlete than the Patriots defensive lineman because they was coming scot-free or getting home, and he would just step around them and it was like he wasn't even flinching that they was close to him. He wasn't even fazed that the Patriots got the penetration in the backfield. You understand? I thought that was very impressive for Sam Darnold, and Seattle found their quarterback, baby.
For real, no turnovers too with all that pressure, man. They didn't make no mistakes today. Took what the defense gave them, and man, just get the points. You gotta get 3 points. We're gonna get our 3 points. We ain't gonna force it. We ain't gonna do nothing extra. We're gonna win that game, and that's what he did.
Yeah. Seattle Seahawks found their quarterback, baby. I bet they won't be stupid like the Vikings and let him go. You know what I mean? But just think about how terrible that sounds for the Minnesota Vikings and what they have done at the quarterback situation. Just think about it, everyone, how terrible that is. You built the Seattle Seahawks a Super Bowl champion team by sending Sam Darnold over there. You could have kept him on your team and made him a backup. You could have did anything with him. You could have signed him, made him third string, put him on injured reserve. You sent him to the perfect team to make a Super Bowl champion team, and that cannot happen in the NFL. It's like investing, man. It's a terrible investment.
I think the Vikings situation prepared Sam Darnold for what happened this season. Like last year, they was the number 1 team, and they played the last game of the season for their number 1 seed. They end up losing. They losing the first round of the playoffs. I felt, and then like the Vikings just let him go scot-free, like how you said. I feel like for that happened to Sam Darnold, that built him for the adversity for this year to get him to that Super Bowl, to get him over the peak.
How much adversity he want him to go through? He got that goddamn
that's
the Vikings
true.
he was dealing with over there. How terrible he was. Where he went after that? Carolina Panthers.
That's all that made him for this moment right here, for him to overcome all that to do this, man. Shout out to Sam Darnold, because I wasn't a believer.
Also, man, I talked about quarterback development, and I said it's a lack of quarterback development. I'm the one that first started that, right? But some of these quarterbacks can go to these terrible teams, and they may be elite quarterbacks or quarterbacks that can play at a high level, but they wind up on these terrible teams with coaches that can't develop or teach anything, and you never get to see the true upside of that quarterback or the true potential of that quarterback. And I think Sam Darnold is just one of those guys. He looks like a complete veteran. Like he completely understands the game of football, how and when to get the football out of his hands quick, when the pressure is coming, how to maneuver the pressure, the situations and things like that. So Sam Darnold is a winner, man. And with that team and Kenneth Walker, man. But Kenneth Walker made the difference in this game for Seattle.
Super Bowl MVP right there.
MVP, Super Bowl MVP, man. Super Bowl MVP. Sam Darnold, man. I mean, Kenneth Walker, man. But like I said, the Patriots was doing great, setting the edge, stopping Kenneth Walker the first couple of series. And then Kenneth Walker, it just continued to bruise, and the physicality of the Seattle Seahawks started to wear down on the New England Patriots. And there's nothing they can do, man. It was nothing they can do, man.
6 sacks for 43 yards, man. It was all over Drake Maye.
Yeah, man. But again, in the first half, it wasn't that bad, right? Drake Maye was playing fast. Sometimes he was playing too fast, getting the football out of his hand. I remember on one of those first downs, or one of those third downs, he threw the ball to the flat too quickly. And I think that Seattle's defense was in man-to-man coverage, and the cornerback had the receiver jammed up. But he had him jammed up enough that he was able to make the play on the flat because Drake Maye was so intimidated by the Seahawks rush that he got the ball out so fast and didn't give the wide receiver enough time to run the cornerback off and prevent him from making the play on the back, So that was That was another issue, you know.
Yeah. And Seahawks was bringing the pressure from all different angles, from corners, from safeties, from linebackers. Like they was mixing it up on the blitz, bringing it all different ways. I like.
Yeah,
Did you blitz a lot as a corner?
No, I didn't blitz a lot, man. They would always send the blitz away from me and give it to another corner. They would always send the blitz to another corner. But for the Patriots too, man, they have a hell of a defense, man. They have a hell of a defense, and I like the way Zach Kerr, yeah, say his name right. Zach Kerr called the game, right? He called a good defensive game, man, and he gave Sam Darnold a bunch of different looks. He was sending different pressures at the Seattle Seahawks defense, offense, and Sam Darnold, you know, and that he likely hadn't seen all season or on film from the New England Patriots. I like how Zach Kerr was mixing up the coverage in the back end as well, because sometimes he would play those receivers in man-to-man coverage, you know, and next play he might drop back 8 in coverage and only rush 3 to Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold, you know, it made him think. He had to think, and he wasn't able to get too comfortable, right? And that stopped, preventing him from getting in his rhythm a little bit, but he still was able to overcome. But I like what I saw from the Patriots defense and defensive coordinator Zach Kerr, however you say it. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, that was a good job tonight, man. It's just Drake Maye could not step up tonight in this game, you know, and he's gonna have a hard time all week. He's gonna have a hard time all week, you know.
Yeah, I think until you step back on the field, probably.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long
last game of the season, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, no more games after this one. And boom, man, you know. But
yeah, watching UG, what he say? He said, I hate the Patriots missed this opportunity, but Drake Maye and the team exceeded my expectations. Listen, the Patriots I don't know if you knew this either, but a fact about the Patriots, it's the biggest turnaround in a football team in NFL history. They would have 4 wins last year to the Super Bowl this year. It's the biggest turnaround ever in NFL history. So
yes,
they definitely did exceed expectations.
Yeah, man, definitely. The Patriots exceeded expectations. Like I said, no one expected them to be in this game tonight. No one expected them to be in the Super Bowl, let alone the playoffs. No one expected Drake Maye to have a successful season, right? No one expected the Patriots defense to play as well. Remember, in the beginning of the season, free agents was hesitant to sign with the New England Patriots because of what was going on last season with Drake or Gerard Mayo as the head coach. That's how bad it was for the New England Patriots. People and players were hesitant to sign with this team, you know?
And I remember Gerard Mayo made that statement last year about the team being soft. So that was like most of the same team is there this year, and they like the top defense. You see how that defense, even today, they play.
And that's the type of leadership they was dealing with last year. Their head coach calling their team that's at the Super Bowl now soft, and you had the same players there, you know. So that goes to show you the type of coaches that us as players have to deal with sometimes in the NFL, man. You know, and yeah, man. Dang, this was a big opportunity for the New England Patriots, and they couldn't deliver, man. They couldn't deliver. God dog it, they couldn't deliver.